It's been a little while since I have left any updates on here or shared any news or reflections, and I was feeling a little nudge to do so. But I have to say, I have no strong intention or topic that really feels important to expand on. So in my usual fashion, as to muse on the voice, which is something I like to do, there's certainly a part of that process which is about initiatory energy, so trying to find that little spark which offers some inspiration and provides a starting point for wider discussion or to pull out strands of ideas from that. So in that vein, I'm trying to create some space at this point in time for whatever wishes to bubble to the surface. So this might be, in fact, the very topic. So thinking about intention to communicate and the space, the different quality of spaces that we find ourselves in relation to energy levels, but also in relation to where we might be in a journey of processing. So, for example, I have recently been doing lots of applications and have been doing lots of studying and researching, so lending itself to a particularly cerebral quality of energy, and I've had to compensate for that or deliberately try and create space around that so that I have enough bandwidth to digest and process new information and also let those things settle, and also give myself permission to rest and switch off so that I can properly engage in relaxation. So oftentimes that over exertion or tendency to overdo or to disrespect one's own boundary by pushing to cram more into the day, for me is always symptomatic of spending too much time and energy in the head space. So what has been helpful is to come back to just moments of body awareness, moments of considering where I am in space on a physiological level, and bringing attention and focus back to the body and to other parts of the body below the head through breath. So finding points where there's just an active focus or attention brought to the breath. All it takes is a moment or two, and that offers in some kind of way a reset and just an opportunity also to take space to energize before moving on to the next task. So that's maybe another strand to pull out as well. Obviously speaking on a general level with activity, but seeing so many parallels related to vocal expression and vocalizing and singing, that we need to prepare and we need to give energy and breath to our ideas, to our phrases, to the impetus to trigger all the reflexes and responses that are part of the process to be able to create sound. So taking that principle and introducing breath as an energizing activity and also a preparatory activity to help, provide some boundary between our tasks so that we're not continuously trying to operate on the same timeline of energy or the same battery level that we start the day with. So moments to top up, to reflect, to actually check in and determine, do we have sufficient energy to move forward with the tasks that we want to complete? And with that, I have found that there's a quality of space generally that tends to naturally want to then open up around things. So there's a permission piece in there which is really nourishing to engage with, to allow there to be a moment, to allow there to be 5 minutes, to allow there to be something that's disrupting the kind of automatic response to just tanking through everything and trying to get it done. And I've been gently exploring this in response to initially a earlier video that I chatted a little bit about gauging our emotional battery levels. So this is kind of like an expansion of exploration that has come about through that channel of emotional work, but also in the kind of cerebral academic work side of things and the kind of psychological space. There's been a deeper exploration of trying to understand habits and implement more strategies for, time tracking and productivity, and trying to find ways in which those frameworks can be helpful in supporting an overall assessment of energy throughout the day. And then another step on from that would be trying to filter that down and refine that into tools of assessment that can be applied specifically to a vocal practice or vocal exploration space. So I guess in summary, this is what I have been exploring and attempting to work on. And just to reinforce this again, it's something that I have mentioned before. Everything that I share in whatever stage of evolution is all filtered through my personal experience. So I am exploring and testing out these ideas on myself to the best of my ability, and scrutinizing them and trying to take that kind of holistic, multidisciplinary lens to really work with an idea and feel into it and find where those edges are, where those boundaries are, before I can translate and transcribe that into something that I feel comfortable to share with students or to explore with them. And that just gives me confidence that I can hold that space appropriately and offer potential tools or avenues based on, you know, where I have been flowing within my own vocal exploration and the bigger picture of my vocal journey. So again, coming back to that idea of the journey, whether that's a journey within a session or a journey over a period of weeks, project based, or bigger still, the overall journey of where one is flowing in one's voice, voice in all of its strands. So with that being said, everyone is on a different path, and it's really encouraging to be able to use language like journey, because I feel that's a really open way of connecting and actually asking, you know, where are you? Trying to offer a sense of a timeline without that feeling like that's something that is fixed or rigid. But you know, the idea of journey, and how that word lands for me, and what that inspires in the mind, is definitely one of more possibility, and kind of, you know, whatever particular flavor you're hoping to infuse in there, it kind of elicits idea of adventure, discovery. So these are all really helpful and useful tools of imagination that I like to try and bring into discussing voice and holding space to really glean information based on how someone is describing their vocal experience, aside from, you know, other terms which are more specifically categorized in, you know, psychology or physiology. It's giving that additional space and dimension to be able to relate on the social, emotional and spiritual levels as well. So that's for another topic and another discussion at a later date, as these ideas are still stewing in the vocal cauldron. So that is today's reflection, and I will be back again at some point to continue expanding on these ideas and sharing offerings as they come up. And as ever, there are various ways to get in touch with me. Probably the most reliable is to do so through email. That way I'll definitely pick up on it. And if there are any questions emerging, if you would like to get in touch, if you're curious to generally explore the topic of holistic voice work in a bit more depth, and are interested in signposting to other resources, very open to those communications. And also, of course, if you feel called to work with me, then please reach out and let me know how you are, where you're at, and we'll see if it's a good fit and we can work together. Okay, we'll update again soon. Take care.